Was Yu Menglong's ear cut off? It sounds like something out of a horror movie, yet what netizens have uncovered is genuinely chilling. At first, many people dismissed these theories as internet exaggeration. But as more screenshots, old footage, and personal accounts surfaced, the story took on a much darker tone. When another screenshot appeared, showing his desperate words about being restrained, forced to sign contracts, and having all his assets taken, the rumors suddenly felt much more terrifying. This was no longer just about a tragic death. It was about long-term control, financial exploitation, and psychological torment. At the same time, Xin-Chi made a strange move. The sudden death of Coco Lee from years ago was dragged back into the spotlight. And Shaolin Abbot Shi Yongshan was officially arrested. Are these events connected? Is the truth far deeper and more complex than we imagine? Join us as we unpack everything in today's program. Yu Menglong's fake ear? Did Yu Menglong use a fake ear? In previous episodes, I mentioned netizens' observations suggesting that on Yu Menglong's right cheek, there appeared to be a reversed Shin character. That image came from the reality show Chase Me Brothers. Recently, people who went back to review the same footage also noticed something strange about his right ear. At that moment in the show, the host Jin Xing asked, "Menglong, why are you crying?" The camera immediately cut to a close-up of Yu Menglong's face. It was in that close-up that netizens noticed his right ear looked unusual. Normally, in other photos and videos, Yu Menglong's ears are a healthy pink color with a smooth, natural curve. But in that particular close-up, at the point where his right ear meets his cheek, there was a distinct dark line. Netizens speculated that this line might indicate a fake ear attached over the real one. They suspected that one of his ears might have been cut off earlier and then replaced with a silicone prosthetic. Some viewers even edited comparison images, placing older photos of his ears side by side with the show footage to highlight the difference. I cannot confirm this 100%, and there is no official medical proof. But you can look at the footage yourself and decide what you think. In addition, a netizen sent commentator Li Muyang a screenshot that revealed a shocking amount of information. It may very well have been an earlier post written by Yu Menglong himself, or by someone who knew his situation closely. The post said, "I am so tired. I want to go home, but I cannot. My contract expired, but they forced me to sign again. If I refused, many people beat me. My house, my savings, even the money for my mother's medical treatment. Everything was taken by them, yet they still will not let me go." These words, whether written by you or by someone in the same circle, describe a life that feels more like captivity than stardom. In 2020, when Yu Menglong appeared on Chase Me Brothers, he mentioned in an interview that his management team had secretly signed contracts behind his back. He also said he was terrified of being controlled. This shows that even before 2020, those so-called demons had already tightened their grip around him. The post also claimed that the power of those demons was enormous. According to that description, more than half of the entertainment industry was under their influence. Among them were two individuals who called themselves princes. They allegedly used his studio to channel social insurance funds, each time in amounts reaching into the billions. From there, they reportedly moved tens of billions to Australia. Every time money was transferred, he felt physically sick, because he knew that money was filthy and it was not truly his. He was being used as a tool, a front, a legal shell, while other people pulled the strings in the background. In a previous episode, I mentioned that the Social Insurance Fund is a shareholder of Mango Supermedia. According to these claims, they were using Yu Menglong's studio as a vehicle to launder money. Funds that should have belonged to ordinary Chinese citizens were allegedly siphoned off again and again, billions each time, then moved abroad with a total reaching the tens of billions. According to the Post, Australian police once came to China to investigate. They questioned people one by one, including Yu Menglong himself. Investigators had already discovered large-scale money laundering through artists' studios. But clearly, they did not reach the deepest layers of the operation, or someone blocked them. Under Tianyu Media, many artists were also forced to sign contracts and had studios registered under their own names. So the big question is, how much money has actually been laundered through these arrangements? Who was receiving the money in Australia? Could it have anything to do with the mysterious Princess Yang Lanlan that some netizens have mentioned? There is no official confirmation, but the speculation continues to spread. Xinqi makes a strange move. Tianyu Media truly is an unusual company. The person who controls it, and also its major shareholder, is Xin Qi, one of the 17 suspects and an extremely mysterious figure. Information about Xin Qi has become increasingly difficult to find. Old posts, pages, and records seem to fade or disappear, almost as if someone is deliberately erasing his footprints. Recently, he made another strange move that caught netizens' attention. From the timestamp around 11 minutes and 34 seconds to 11 minutes and 40 seconds in one video, Xin Qi deleted the only 8 photos in his Dubon album. He is diving even deeper into hiding, trying to erase himself from public memory. But the internet never forgets. Netizens managed to recover those 8 photos. They quickly pointed out that red-haired Cheng Qing Song appears in every single one of them. In other words, red-haired Cheng Qing Song and Xin Qi seem to have a very close relationship. In some of the photos, people also identified other figures such as Hu Haiyang and Kan Xin. Some netizens on Tieba even found pre-plastic surgery photos of Xin Qi and posted them online. The more he tried to hide, the more people dug into his past. Some netizens believe that because Xin Qi hides himself so carefully, he must be one of the most important suspects with extremely powerful backing. Others say Xin Qi might be a so-called second-generation official, because the woman standing next to him in one photo is said to come from a political family. Some netizens also pointed out that Xin Qi once served as the head of Yu Menglong's fan club and had set his sights on him early on. Later, Xin Qi became the chief operating officer of a company called Kei Shouying Buyu. The name Buyu, which literally means catching fish, led to speculation that it really meant catching you, since you and fish are homophones in Chinese. This kind of hidden wordplay is extremely common in mainland China, so netizens' suspicions cannot be dismissed outright. Additionally, some netizens accused Tianyu Media of controlling Yu Menglong and intentionally preventing him from becoming famous. After his official fan club was dissolved in 2018, real fans were reportedly not allowed to promote him or post his works on their own. Only Tianyu could do that. So even though he had fans, he was never actually promoted in a normal way. It is as if his career was deliberately put into a cage. Earlier, there were reports that actress Song Yiren had hired water armies, or paid commenters, and then failed to pay them. Recently, Xin Qi has also been suspected of buying water armies. Photographic evidence showed clear pricing structures. Manual interactions, posting, commenting, and insulting on behalf of a client were all listed with detailed price points. Comments cost between 2 and 8 yuan, with wholesale prices from 2 to 5 yuan, and small orders at 8 yuan. If netizens counterattacked or reported, the price went up. Posts cost 10 to 15 yuan, with some as low as 5 yuan depending on the platform. Replying to existing comments added another 20 yuan. Outside platforms were more expensive, with 20 to 50 yuan per post. If the post came from a fan account, it could cost between 100 and 500 yuan per post. All done manually by real people. Screenshots of actual transactions exist using the coded nickname Big Boss for the buyer. From all of this, it is clear that Tianyu's operations are highly unusual. And many artists working under state media-linked networks like Mango Media and Hunan TV have not had particularly good endings. Some faded quietly, others became wrapped in scandal, and a few met tragic fates. The mysterious death of Coco Li, also known as Li Wen. Li Wen's management once issued a statement saying that on July 2, 2023, she took her own life at home due to depression. Despite emergency treatment, she passed away. Her older sister, Lee Celine, immediately stated that her sister had committed suicide, but that the precise cause of death would have to wait for the autopsy results. Later, Hong Kong media reported that the cause of death might have been suffocation from vomit blocking her airway. Lee Celine responded that her sister had indeed vomited that day, but the final conclusion still had to come from the coroner. To this day, Lee Celine has not publicly released the official cause of death. Yet vomiting is also a symptom consistent with certain types of poisoning. That possibility, combined with her history of conflict with a powerful show, has fueled years of speculation. We all know that during her lifetime, Li Wen publicly accused the production team of The Voice of China of humiliating and bullying her. She even alleged dark dealings and hidden rules behind the show. Once the leaked audio recordings came out, public outrage exploded, and the program was eventually suspended. Li Wen served as a judge on the 11th season of the show. At that time, her health was already very poor. She suffered from depression. She had undergone treatment for breast cancer. Her left leg had required surgery, and she could not stand for long periods without support. Because she was dissatisfied with the unfairness and shady operations of the show, she voiced her objections. In the leaked audio, Li Wen said, "Why is my score of 88.3 lower than the minimum score of 73? How can that contestant continue when my 88.3 does not qualify? Someone explain these rules to me." A staff member replied, "This is not something we can discuss openly on the table." Li Wen responded, "I am telling the truth. Of course you will cut all of this out. I know this is unfair." Because of her protests, the production team allegedly set out to humiliate her. During a duet performance with contestant Wang Zepeng, the original agreement was that he would support her as they walked on stage. But during the actual show, the team reportedly positioned Wang with his back to her, leaving her alone under the spotlight. Wearing 7-inch heels and with her leg in poor condition, she ended up falling in front of the audience. After she fell, no one from the crew helped her up. It was another judge, singer Fish Leong, who could not bear to watch and rushed to assist her. For that act of compassion, she was reportedly scolded by the production staff afterward. As for Wang Zeping, he later said he had no idea the positioning had been changed and that the decision was made by the production team. They reportedly prevented him and Li Wen from communicating and even confiscated his phone. In other words, the team deliberately retaliated against Li Wen for daring to speak out. After the show ended, Wang Zepeng posted screenshots of his messages with Li Wen. In those messages, Li Wen wrote, "The director deliberately sabotaged me. I know how cruel people can be. In 28 years of singing, I have never met a director this vicious. But heaven has eyes. This person will face retribution. Sometimes in this world you will meet people filled with extreme malice." In other leaked recordings, you can hear the assistant director forcibly dragging Li Wen off the stage. These incidents left her devastated and deeply humiliated. Because she spoke up, the show was heavily criticized and temporarily boycotted. Her accusations and resistance also put her in danger, because she had challenged people who, according to many, must not be challenged. And who exactly are those people? The Voice of China is an extremely influential entertainment program, the spiritual successor to Hunan TV's Supergirls. The production company is Star China Music, under the joint venture between China Media Capital, also known as CMC, and News Corporation of Australia. News Corporation's chairman is the famous media tycoon Rupert Murdoch. And who owns CMC? Officially, the chairman is Li Ruigang, the former chief executive officer of Shanghai Media Group. But the real controlling figure is said to be Li Dong, the eldest daughter of Li Changchun. At that time, Li Changchun was in charge of all propaganda and ideological work of the Chinese Communist Party. Naturally, Li Dong's business empire revolved around the media industry. CMC was approved in 2009 as China's first large-scale cultural media investment fund. Who invested in it? primarily state institutions and entities. Its fundraising scale reached 20 billion renminbi, with 6 billion in the first phase alone. According to media reports, Li Ruigang had a wife and child. After meeting Li Dong, his marriage collapsed and ended in divorce. Thanks to Li Dong's backing, Li Ruigang quickly rose through Shanghai's media system. He became chief of staff of the Shanghai Party Committee in his early 40s. If Li Dong had not asked him to leave politics to run CMC, he might have climbed even higher. He is considered the financial steward of the Li Changchun family. Under the massive umbrella of the Li Changchun clan, the Voice of China received 60 million renminbi in sponsorship funding from Jiaduobao Beverages. A single 15-second ad slot cost 360,000 renminbi. This powerful family used political influence to monopolize the entertainment market and generate enormous profits. In its first season alone, the Voice of China earned 1.7 billion renminbi in advertising revenue. That figure does not even include additional revenue from contestant contracts, commercial appearances, music academies, concerts, musicals, and offline shows. The entire value chain was under their control. And that 1.7 billion contained a dark secret. Li Ruigang reportedly used his power at Shanghai Media Group to illegally divert the equivalent of 1.7 billion renminbi in advertising resources from SMG to Zhejiang TV's Voice of China. Through the combined influence of Li Ruigang and Li Dong, the show's value skyrocketed. So, when such a colossal money-making machine was thrown into chaos because of Li Wen, leading to the show being suspended, do you really think Li Ruigang and Li Dong would simply let her go without consequences? Although there is no direct public evidence, many observers believe that the likelihood she was poisoned is very high. Commentator Qiu Feng is also suspected by some of having been harmed by Shaolin abbot Shi Yongxin. And behind Shi Yongxin, many point to the same powerful political family, the Li Changchun faction. It seems that stars who refuse to comply, or who are chosen as sacrificial pawns, often meet tragic ends. Shi Yongxin has been officially arrested. On November 16th, Chinese authorities announced that the Xinjiang City Procuratorate had approved the arrest of Shaolin Temple abbot Shi Yongxin. The charges he faces include embezzlement of assets through his official position, misappropriation of funds, and accepting bribes despite not being a state employee. Earlier, on September 19th, Shenzhen News reported that several local figures closely connected to Shi Yongxin, people with the surnames Zhao, Qian, and Liu, had been taken in to assist with investigations. Relevant departments are reportedly looking into 2 criminal cases involving Shi Yongxin, as well as allegations that he has multiple illegitimate children. According to reports, an immediate relative of Shi Yongxin, a woman surnamed Zhao, had previously secured a position as chief of staff at a municipal agency through arrangements made by a Dengfeng city official surnamed Niu. Both Zhao and Niu are currently under investigation. Shi Yongxin rose to prominence by aggressively commercializing the Shaolin Temple. This earned him the nickname the Shaolin CEO. As early as 2015, 6 former disciples, including Sha Yanlu, used their real names to accuse him of misappropriating temple property, damaging the temple's reputation, keeping multiple mistresses, and fathering several children. At that time, however, official statements denied all allegations against him. Despite being accused more than a decade ago, Shi Yongxin remained untouched for years. His sudden downfall now has led many to speculate that the backing behind him has collapsed. China expert Heng He told the Epoch Times that Shi Yongxin's earliest political patron was Li Changchun, a former member of the Politburo Standing Committee from Jiang Zemin's faction. Shi Yongxin managed to flourish under 3 generations of Chinese Communist Party leadership: Jiang Zemin, Hu Jintao, and Xi Jinping. Each leadership reportedly valued him in different ways. His commercial empire received strong support from high-level officials. It is possible that each standing committee lineup contained someone protecting him, and that all three general secretaries may have indirectly benefited from or shielded his operations. Under Xi Jinping's anti-corruption campaign, not only did Xi Yongxin avoid downfall for a time, his status actually increased. He served as a member of the Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference and as a standing committee member of Henan Province. He also served as vice president of the Buddhist Association of China. According to Heng He, Xi Yongxin's Shaolin commercial empire functioned essentially like a private enterprise, tempting and involving various ministries and officials. I have discussed Xi Yongxin's downfall in previous videos, and you are welcome to revisit them if you are interested in more details. But one thing is clear. When a monk who holds so many secrets is suddenly arrested, it is never simple. It almost always connects to deeper factional struggles. As you can see, under the rule of the Chinese Communist Party, every sector, entertainment, television, and even religious temples has been commercialized. And behind all of this lies a vast network of interests linked to numerous dark and hidden industries. Nothing stands alone. Everything is interconnected. What do you think of all this? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.